My name is Dr. Dashnye Daloye. I am a counseling psychologist, and currently I am working full time as a CBT practitioner at University College London. What led me to pursue this research topic very much came from my own experiences in higher education in the United Kingdom. So I identify as belonging to an underrepresented ethnic minority group. I was born in Kurdistan and I was raised and educated in London. And throughout my education, in particular in higher education, so to date, I've been in higher education in the United Kingdom for over 8 years. And throughout my experience, I was always the minority, and I always felt very much underrepresented in terms of the staff, the lecturers, and the other students as well. And in the doctorate in particular, I was very keen to learn about the experiences of BME trainee counseling psychologists, because as I researched, this area had never been looked into, whereas clinical psychology has very much looked into this area and illuminated the experiences of BME trainee clinical psychologists. So that's where this sort of research passion very much stemmed from. So the way I conducted my research was very much qualitative. I was very much interested in learning about the experiences of BME trainee counseling psychologists. So I used interviews to learn about the experiences of trainees. And I used IPA to analyze the data, which again is very much focused on the experiences of the individuals. Yeah, my research was very much qualitative. This is the first time we are learning about the experiences of BME trainee counseling psychologists in the UK. So that makes it very much original and very unique. What the findings sort of tell us is that many of the trainees, in the interviews, they told me they very much felt lonely and isolated on the training program, which was linked to sort of being underrepresented on the training program. Also, they told me this sense of they lacked belonging. In particular, one of the participants repeatedly told me she very much felt like an alien on the training program, which, at the time when I was sort of interviewing, and then by the time I was analyzing the data and writing up my thesis, this was the timing of very much when, we were sort of reflecting on this experience of being the other, the experience of a lack of belonging, and sort of in that moment, in that timing as well, a lot of globally, a lot was happening around racism and the Black Lives Matter movement as well, which coincided with my research and with my writing up process. Also, the trainees told me they very much sensed this Eurocentric bias in the training, in the curriculum, sort of the readings, because what we do, in psychology, in the psychology field, we very much focus on Western theories. But the reality is, in the therapy room, once we qualify and once we start working, in therapy rooms, we don't just only work with white clients. We work with a diverse population. So therefore, sort of our training and our curriculum and the theories should also reflect the therapy room and the population that we work with. What was also very interesting is the participants shared with me that they use their experiences and they very much use their BME identity and the intersections of it with their clients. So that in turn strengthens the therapeutic alliance and helps with the relationship in the therapy room. And they use that as a positive, a positive part of their experience within the training. Being mindful, as I said previously, of the Eurocentric bias within training programs and within counseling professions. There is sort of a movement which is happening and ongoing currently with decolonizing sort of the curriculums and the trainings, the reading lists, sort of extensively amongst all education fields. But I feel in particular within sort of the counseling psychology field as well. I mean, why not? Let's, learn about, ethnic minority researchers. Let's learn about, other theories, other ways of working therapeutically. Why do we have to sort of focus only on Western theories, which is very much, derived from, privileged white males? Society is changing and we need to adapt with it as well. So I would say that was one of the prominent implications of my research, across education fields as well. And also the importance of representation. So representations, amongst trainees or students, with professors, lecturers, the staff, with placements as well. So having that, those different experiences with working with a diverse client group is so important. My paper has been published and it will be linked with this interview, so that can be accessed. And also for any students who are interested in a career in counseling psychology, annually I have been arranging and leading a particular event which is called Is Counseling Psychology for Me? With the British Psychological Society, the division of counseling psychology. So hopefully we will have another event coming up next year. So that can be, found on the British Psychological Society website. The events are always free. and we very much encourage aspiring counseling psychologists from underrepresented backgrounds to come and join our profession so that we do increase representation and we are reflective of the population and the client groups that we work with.